You know that feeling? You decide, right, I'm going to learn English, and bam, it's just this huge wave of words and rules.
Oh, totally overwhelming. Like, where do you even start? Vocabulary lists? Forever.
Exactly. But what if there's a smarter way in?
That's what we're diving into today. We looked at this great YouTube video. It's called Aprenda a crear centenas de frases apenas, memorizando estes padrones inglés básico.
Right, from the English in Brazil by Carina Fragozo channel. Really useful stuff.
Absolutely. And the idea is basically to pull out the essential toolkit from that video. How to build, like, hundreds of phrases without drowning in vocab.
Yeah, so our mission for you today is to really zero in on three core sentence structures Carina highlights. We're trying to move away from just, memorizing endless lists.
Right. It's about understanding the patterns.
Right.
Getting how the language works underneath.
So you can start building sentences almost intuitively. Yeah. It's about working smarter.
Definitely. And those three structures, the really fundamental ones she covers, are I have plus noun. I don't have plus noun.
The opposite.
And I have to plus verb. We're going to unpack each one, see how much you can actually do with them.
All right, let's jump in. First one, I have plus noun. So, what's the main job of this structure?
Well, primarily it's about possession. Yeah. Saying you have something, you own something. It's pretty straightforward.
Got it. And Carina talks about what a noun is, right? Simple terms.
Yeah, she keeps it clear. A noun names something.
Yeah.
A person, an animal, a place.
Yeah.
Like Brazil. Or a name like Carina.
Or a teacher.
Exactly. Teacher is a noun. And she stresses this is important. It's not a verb. It's not an action word.
Right. So not like walking, going, traveling,
right.
Smiling. Those are actions.
Those fit into different patterns we'll see later. So I have plus noun is about the stuff you possess, your things. Think of them like building blocks. Lego bricks, maybe.
Yeah, I like that. Individual pieces you snap together. Yeah. And the video uses repetition, which really helps, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It drills the pattern in. So let's try a few, just like she does. Listen and, think along. First one. I have a car.
I have car.
And in Portuguese, that's eu tenho carro. A really common starting point, talking about what you own.
Okay, next. I have a dog.
Eu tenho cachorro. See, you just swapped car for dog. Easy.
I have a cat.
Eu tenho gato. Same structure again.
What about numbers? I have 2 dogs.
Eu tenho 2 cachorros.
Yeah.
So the noun is still dogs, but you've added a quantity.
Yeah.
Shows the flexibility, right?
And then she combines them. I have 2 dogs and a cat.
Eu tenho 2 cachorros y gato. So you can list things you have. It's starting to build already.
Okay, now this is where it gets really practical.
Yeah.
She starts adding new vocabulary into this pattern. Like friends, amigos in Portuguese.
Right. So how would you say you have many friends using our structure?
Okay, I have many friends.
Exactly. Eu tenho muitos amigos. The core I have plus noun is still there. We just popped in many, adds more detail.
Cool. Then kids. She mentions it's like the Portuguese word for children. But there's another English word, too.
Yeah, children. You can use either, really. I have 2 kids.
Or I have 2 children.
Eu tenho 2 filhos. Good to know both options.
What about family? Irmãos?
That would be brothers. So I have 2 brothers.
Eu tenho 2 irmãos.
Okay.
And irmã.
Sister.
So I have a sister.
Eu tenho uma irmã. And just like with the pets, you can list family, too, right?
Yeah, makes sense. I have 2 brothers and a sister.
Eu tenho 2 irmãos e uma irmã.
See. Describing your family using this one simple pattern.
She also introduces a really useful word, siblings. What's that cover?
Siblings. It's a great word. It means your brothers and sisters together without specifying gender. It's efficient.
So if you had a big family.
You might say, I have 10 siblings, instead of listing them all out.
I have 10 siblings. Eu tenho 10 irmãos e irmãs.
Nice.
Okay. Pergunta. How's that in English?
That's a question. So, I have a question. Eu tenho uma pergunta. Useful in class, definitely.
Or anywhere you need clarification. And everyone's favorite, dinheiro.
Yes, money. And the example uses a lot of money.
So I have a lot of money.
Eu tenho muito dinheiro. We can dream, but you see how this pattern works for everyday stuff?
Instantly useful.
Okay, so I have plus noun is great for possessions. But you mention, and Carina points this out too, it's not always about owning things, is it?
That's a really important nuance, yeah. While possession is the main thing we've focused on, I have can sometimes signal other things, like obligations or scheduled events.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Like I have a meeting at 3 p.m.
Eu tenho uma reunião às 3 da tarde.
Right.
Not really possession.
Or I have a lot of work to do.
Eu tenho muito trabalho a fazer. It's something on your schedule, something you need to handle.
Exactly. And she even gives examples where it's more like an action or a state, not ownership at all. Like, well, I have lunch at 12.
Eu almoço às 12 horas. Using have instead of eat.
Or I have dinner at 7. You janto at 7. And also for feeling sick, right? I have a headache.
Eu tô com dor de cabeça. Yeah. Or I have a cold.
Eu estou com resfriado. So the meaning of have can definitely shift based on what follows it. Context matters.
Okay, so context is key.
Yeah.
But for that basic I have plus noun structure, the main takeaway is it's super powerful for talking about what you possess. It lets you make loads of basic sentences, a real foundation.
Absolutely. Foundational. Now, that leads us nicely into the second structure, which is basically its partner. I don't have plus noun.
Right. This seems pretty intuitive. It's just the negative version, saying you don't have something.
Exactly that. It flips the I have statement.
Yeah.
So we said, I have a car. How do you say the opposite?
I don't have a car.
Perfect. Não tenho carro. Simple negation. And you've immediately expanded what you can express.
And this don't works with all those possession examples.
Yep. All the ones we did. I have a dog.
Becomes I don't have a dog.
Eu tenho cachorro. Becomes eu não tenho cachorro. You literally just take don't in front of have.
I have a cat. I don't have a cat.
Eu tenho gato. Eu não tenho gato.
I have a lot of money. Wishful thinking, maybe?
Becomes I don't have a lot of money. Eu tenho muito dinheiro versus eu não tenho muito dinheiro. A bit more realistic for some of us.
Okay. I have many friends. I don't have many friends.
Eu tenho muitos amigos. Eu não tenho muitos
You mean kids? I don't have kids.
Eu tenho filhos. Eu não tenho filhos. The pattern is super consistent, easy to apply.
Okay, let's try it with some new words. Tempo. What's that in English?
Time. It's a very, very common phrase. I don't have time.
Eu não tenho tempo. I think I say that daily.
Don't we all? Okay, how about computador?
Ooh, that one's close. Computer.
Spot on. Computer. And remember, when it's just one thing, we usually use a, like or uma.
Right, the article a, so I don't have a computer.
Eu não tenho computador. Yeah. Exactly.
And Carina adds a nice little extension here, adding it home.
Right, so you can specify where you don't have it. I don't have a computer at home.
Eu não tenho computador em casa. And like she says, you could swap computer for anything, couldn't you? I don't have a washing machine at home. I don't have a pet at home.
Precisely. It's a really flexible template.
And let's loop back to one of those to-do examples. I have a lot of work to do. What's the negative?
I don't have a lot of work to do.
Eu não tenho muito trabalho a fazer. The dream sentence.
Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, you see how just adding don't basically doubles what you can say about possession or lack of it?
Yeah.
Huge impact, small change.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've got I have plus noun for having things, and I don't have plus noun for not having them. Now, structure number 3, I have to plus verb. This looks different.
It is different, and this is super important to grasp. Here, have to isn't about possession at all. It signals obligation, necessity.
Meaning like, eu tenho que, or eu preciso, I need to do something.
Exactly. I have to, or I need to. It's about requirements, things you must do. Completely different function from the first two.
And the grammar, how does that work?
It's I have to, immediately followed by a verb. And the verb stays in its basic form. It's infinitive form. You don't change it.
Okay, so I have to plus action word.
Pretty much. It's the action you're obligated to do.
Got it. Let's look at the video examples. First one's really common.
I have to go.
Eu preciso ir. Short, simple, essential.
And you can easily add bits to it, right?
Like adding now?
Yeah. Now is agora. So I have to go now.
Eu preciso ir agora adds that urgency.
Definitely. Okay, another key verb. Study.
Base one is study, so I have to study.
Eu preciso estudar. Crucial for learners.
And you can add why you have to study.
Right, like for my exam. Para o meu teste exame. Put it together.
I have to study for my exam.
Eu preciso estudar para o meu teste exame. You see how the pieces just slot together around that core I have to study part?
Okay, this next one has a phrasal verb and time words. Wake up.
Yeah, wake up for acordar.
Yeah.
And Carina uses that song reference, which is kind of memorable. Then she adds early. which is cedo.
And the opposite, late, tard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you say you're obligated to wake up early?
I have to wake up early.
Eu preciso acordar cedo.
Perfect.
And then add tomorrow, I
You
know.
have to wake up early tomorrow.
Eu preciso acordar cedo amanhã.
Yeah.
See, the sentences get more detailed, but that I have to plus verb structure is holding it all together.
It really is the foundation. Okay, another useful verb, call.
Call means ligar or telefonar. And my friend is meu amigo. So,
I have to call my friend.
eu preciso ligar para o meu amigo. Another everyday task.
What about going somewhere specific, like the supermarket?
Good one. The verb go usually needs to when you mention the destination. So, go to the supermarket.
Ir ao supermercado. Okay.
So the full obligation is I have to go to the supermarket.
Y preciso ir ao supermercado. Makes sense. And adding today, oye,
Just tack it on the end. I have to go to the supermarket today.
eu preciso ir ao supermercado. Again, easy to expand.
Very.
Now, Carina does this cool thing where she pauses and gets the listener to try forming the sentence. Let's try that for you listening now. How would you say, I have to call my mom? Quick note. Mother is more formal. Mom is usually what people say day to day.
Okay, got it. The answer is I have to call my mom.
Eu preciso ligar para minha mamá. See how you just swapped friend for mom? Same pattern.
Exactly. Okay, next one for you. I have to go to the bank.
Think about it. I have to go to the bank.
Eu tenho que ir ao banco. Using go to again.
All right, last one for this section. Use the verb tell, which means contar. How do you say, I have to tell my teacher?
Okay. I have to tell my teacher.
Eu tenho que contar para minha professora. So yeah, this I have to plus verb structure is incredibly versatile for all sorts of obligations.
It really is. Opens up a lot of communication about necessities and plans.
Okay, fantastic. So just to quickly recap, we've really dug into these three fundamental sentence structures from Carina's video. What were they again?
We had I have plus noun. That's mainly for possession, saying what you have.
Right.
Then I don't have plus noun for the opposite what you don't have. And finally, I have to plus verb, which is totally different. It's about obligation, things you need to do.
And the real magic here, it seems, isn't just knowing these three phrases, it's getting how they work, right? So you can plug in different nouns, different verbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And suddenly you can create tons and tons of your own sentences. You understand the framework. That's way better than just memorizing lists of phrases.
It feels much more empowering.
It is. And Carina actually suggests a next step in her video, some homework if you like.
Oh yeah, what's that?
She recommends checking out another video on her channel. It's called 200 Most Common English Phrases in 30 Minutes.
Ah, okay. Sounds like a good follow-up.
Yeah, it's a great way to see these structures, and probably others too, used in context.
Yeah.
Helps build vocabulary and just get more exposure.
Makes sense. So maybe a final thought for you listening. Just think about how many different things, how many situations you can now actually start talking about using just these three simple structures we've explored.
It's quite a lot when you stop and consider it.
Yeah, and maybe start noticing them. When you watch something in English or listen to music, see if you can spot these I have to patterns popping up.
That's a great way to reinforce it. It's a surprisingly powerful foundation for your English journey.